Hey everybody, welcome back.
Hello, hello, hello. We're here, we're back.
It's Friday night. I know, right? It is Friday. So before we even get started, let us know how the mics sound. Make sure that you can hear us loud and clear. If you can, in the chat, just say yes, we can hear you fine.
Someone said they brought donuts. Where's my donut?
Someone brought donuts?
For everyone, memorable places.
Good, I like it. Thank you.
I'm here for it. That's great. I hope everybody's had a great week. I missed you guys last week.
I know. She was sick. I mean, what is that?
First of all, I never get sick. I have not been sick in over 2.5 years since. And all of a sudden, I got the flu.
Don't look like symbols.
It's a symbol.
You can say the virus now. They've figured it out after 3 years.
I mean, you never know. So, anyways, yeah, I just got really sick, and then I got a head cold out of nowhere. Yeah,
she was all jacked up. That's why I was here solo. You had to look at this mug only last Friday night. I'm sorry for that. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. It's been kind of a crazy week. There's been a lot going on with Starlink. There's been a lot of stuff going on with Photo World. Then today, I just dropped a video that just went bonkers. Which was kind of interesting. I don't know how that happened, but I was talking about a brand new alternative to Adobe. And they call it, it literally looks just like Adobe, but it's not. So it's called Abode. And they just switched the B and the D. I'm hearing myself. I think this is on. Let me go ahead and turn that off. So yeah, it's really kind of interesting that they have been able to put this out, or they're trying to put this out, but I just don't know about the litigation stuff, and that's what the whole video was about today. Litigation, this new product that might be coming out that they're working on, and they've already raised. I just went over to their site where they had like the funding going on, and I was like looking at it, I'm like, damn, they're like over 100 grand. They only needed 60 to get this thing rolling, and it's at 100 grand. I'm like, wow, that is a lot. I'm going to turn this music down so it's not too loud in the background. Let me know if the music is too loud. Anyway, so guys, anything you want to talk about today, in the comment area or in the chat area, put a Q before your question, or put at JCristina. And this way it'll just pop up, and it'll be a lot easier for us to find it tonight. I know sometimes it takes a little while for me to answer some of the questions, and the reason being is there's so many coming through. So definitely by putting that Q in there does help. Once again, if the sound is sounding all good, let me know. And let's just go through some of these. Who do we got here? We have Low Tech Greg. How are you doing? So glad to see you. Joe, memorable places. Who else we have? Arnie, how are you doing, Arnie? Ian, John. Who else? Peter,
Brookster.
Jason, TCP. Who else we have?
Brookster, Ricky Joe Gringas.
Robin, how are you doing?
Yes, Ryan Kane.
Ricky Joe Gringas. I love that. That's fantastic.
Gary.
John K. Wolf. Bears 9.
Hello, flying pretzel is here.
There's a flying pretzel? I didn't see a flying pretzel.
Bo Randall, how are you?
Randall, how you doing? Tech Drone 77, how's it going? Gary
How was
Gilbert.
everybody's week? I hope everybody had a great week, because it was a little crazy week.
Yeah, it was a little bit nuts. Yeah, it was a lot. This week was definitely a lot. But,
so what are we going to get into tonight? Like, what's the first item of
see.
business? What's going on?
Let's see what we got going on here for questions, and then I'll get into my nonsense, as I always do.
Oh, God. Just don't be so boring.
Let me see here. Hold on just a second. Let me see. So
I
the
hope
sound
everybody
is doing
has their
good.
cocktails or coffee or teas. I'm doing coffee tonight, though.
I have tea.
I needed coffee.
As I always do. What do you have?
Coffee. Because we went to the gym.
Why don't you have one of my merch mugs?
Because you didn't make me one. Okay. Yes, and then you hog them and you keep them in the studio, and then I can't find them.
All right. I suck.
I'm telling you.
Oh, well. It's all right. I suck. It's
Anyways,
okay.
we went to the gym, so I needed coffee tonight.
Yeah. Ricky Joe says, let's see, missed you last week live. I was from he was out too. He was in Gainesville helping my sister remodel a house.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of fun.
That's a lot of
That's
work.
fun, but it's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
We're in the middle of trying to remodel a bathroom by a certain person without mentioning names for, I don't know, almost a year.
Maybe 6 months. It's been a lot.
Oh
I literally
God.
I have our master bathroom
Oh
down
my God,
to
6
studs.
months?
It is. I'm
Get
gonna
out of
look
town.
back.
Get
All right,
out of
so maybe it's a
town.
little bit longer. But I've been working on it, and it's literally down to stud form. So there's like nothing there. Literally, when you walk into the bathroom, like pulling up tile,
Okay,
it's
first
down
of
to
all,
cement.
please stop.
Hold on. The
No,
shower
no,
is
no,
completely gone.
No,
It
you
doesn't
can
exist.
just do not
Does it
even
not?
listen. First of all, I'm the one who demoed most of the bathroom. Me. I took down the tile. I'm the one who started the whole thing because you wouldn't start. So there. That's
She does
the real
that.
truth.
So there was a wall in the house, and she didn't like where the wall was. So
Because
she
I
demoed
got-
the wall. Now, who has to fix the remnants of the demo?
But if he doesn't start, I help the process.
Yeah, you helped it. You made a damn mess, and I had to fix it.
There you go. And that's,
How does this shit work? I don't get it.
that's how
Anyways,
it works.
talk to us. In the chat, do you have like the same type of problems?
Yes.
All right, I suck. I know. I need to get this thing done. I know. This weekend I'm going to work on it. I promise.
All right. Yes, we missed everybody I missed everybody last
Ryan
week.
says, "Hey, from Montana. How are you doing, Ryan?"
Oh yes, so John Spurlick, saw your video about being sued. Did they wind up paying your court costs? It's so okay, first of all, you have not talked about this ever. And
I felt compelled today
yeah.
because of the whole.
And you know what? It's about time. It's been a long time. And a lot of people, again, you know, we're the kind of people we don't really like go around like sharing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
tired.
so-
I'm tired of shush.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a very large corporation that ended up suing me for $55 million for IP or intellectual property, and it was just like a hell of horse shit. And it was one of those things where you look at it like after the fact, you're like, I didn't do anything, but these companies are still able to do it. They're still able to sue you. And I said in the video, I'm like, you know, one of my attorneys said that, you know, listen, in the U.S., you can sue a ham sandwich. And I remember saying, what the hell is that even supposed to mean? Sue a ham sandwich. What that means is you can bring litigation, any type of litigation against anyone or anything, right? And the problem is if it is a civil lawsuit, okay, then you always hear, oh, if you can't afford an attorney will be given to you, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. That's all bullshit too, because the attorney they give you is like someone that just barely passed the bar with like a C and completely sucks, and you end up, you know, screwed anyways, right? But either which way, if it is corporate based or if it is not civil, and what ends up happening is you have to fight. So even if you've done nothing, if they put forth this litigation against you, right? Instead of you being, you know, let's say innocent until proven guilty, you are guilty until you prove your damn self innocent. All right. So that was that's what I had to do. I had to prove myself innocent, which is just ridiculous, right? It is ridiculous, but that's the way it works. That's the court of law in the U.S. People don't understand how this works, but it is factual. And then what will happen is these big companies, billion-dollar companies, like the one that went after me, will be like, yeah, you know what? You're going to lose anyways, so why don't you just, you know, take judgment against you and just call it a day, and just settle, and that'll be it, and we'll just, you know, we'll make the charges as low as possible, so whatever, blah blah blah. This way they can save face because they ended up litigating for nothing. These people ended up having Harvard, Yale, all of these massive attorneys, and spent millions of dollars on me to end up getting this. So then your question,
Which is good and is bad.
It's good and bad. So your question is, was I able to recoup all those attorney fees? And the answer to that is no, because even though you win or you don't lose,
Right.
it doesn't matter. Because then
You're
I would
trying
have
to
to
prove
countersue.
yourself. Right.
Yeah, then I would have to countersue for all of those monies back. And then what did they do is the exact same thing that they did in the first place for 4 years, is stall and put in new motions and another motion and stall some more and then another motion and then a request for this and a request for that. And every damn request and every motion and everything has to be answered. And when it is answered, guess what? The attorneys have to answer it. And when they answer stuff, it is at anywhere from $350 to about $600 per hour.
Yeah. So yeah.
So it's a hell of horse shit. Okay, that's basically what it is. And anyways, bottom line was, I was, and I said in the video, I was like, my attorney ended up, one of the many attorneys, I had an attorney in Florida, one in Texas, I had an attorney in California. One of the attorneys from Florida said just a couple of days ago and said, Joe, that case was just memorable because this company has never lost. They've never filed a suit and ended up not getting a verdict in their favor. It just never happened. A judgment. Yeah, they've never had that ever.
So yes, we won, but
win what? Basically lose everything.
Right.
That's
We're
what you
broke
win.
ass.
But what I did win is I won for my kids. My kids can look at me and say that, I am not some type of criminal, which they said that I was, right? So yes, I won my name, but I lost everything, pretty much. Not the house, but yeah.
We lost everything.
We lost, basically monetarily Zippo.
Well, it's more, but it's more than just monetarily because we lost stress, years of stress.
Yeah,
it was a long time.
4 years of prolonged litigation for absolutely nothing. Yeah. And there's nothing that you can do about it. So anyways, bottom line is absolutely not, didn't get a penny from these people. And that's why I was saying what I was saying about this Adobe alternative. Doing this in so much in your face, using the name, but just changing letters out, making the logo almost identical, doing all of this stuff. You are just looking for shit from these people.
You're on the line.
And they are willing to throw shit. Trust me. Because they have so many massive attorneys that are on retainer doing nothing besides this, right? They need them to do something. They're like, yeah, go after that guy. I don't know what the hell he's doing over there. Look at that logo. That's like our logo. That's going to be misconstrued as an Adobe logo, and then we're going to lose $55 million or whatever the case might be. And they will literally come up with numbers like this, like nutso numbers, crazy. So anyways, yeah. The company that I went up against was not Adobe, but they are actually, I would say, as big as Adobe, maybe even bigger.
I was gonna say bigger.
Maybe bigger, actually. Anyways,
it was. What was it? What was the number?
It was $55 million.
Yes.
It's frickin'
Man,
people.
you guys, really, if we had that kind of money, I love y'all, but I would be somewhere in the beach, floating around town.
Floating, I don't even know what. I don't know. It's so stupid. Anyways, let me see what's going on here. You go ahead. You do your thing.
I'm here.
Okay.
My turn. Okay. So we have John, who we just answered. Bear said, I have not noticed any slowdown on big game downloads.
Really? Okay, so yeah, I did a video talking about that, how we've seen that Starlink, or there's been people in the UK and some other places that have written into me that have said that Starlink is actually going slower when you download large files. So let's say you're downloading a 4K movie, and the 4K movie takes in excess of 10 to 15 minutes. It will drop down, what people are seeing, anywhere from 150, 200 megabits down. It will go all the way down to the 50 to 55 megabits down. That is classic throttling. And I put that out to you guys. I said, listen, is anyone else having this issue, and where are you located? Because I would like to know where this is happening. Is it only in the UK, or is it happening here in the US too? And what I found was there's a lot of people wrote in the US too that said, yes, I'm experiencing the same damn thing. So he said, what? Is he seeing the slowdown?
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't. Okay, good. That's good. That's fantastic.
Okay, and we have Rick Joe Gringas. Is Adobe Abode a off? You see, I just said it.
Abode.
Is Abode a off-brand of Adobe, or is it just a weird coincidence that the B and the D are swapped, which you just talked about?
Yep.
Peter wants to know, what did they sue you for, and did you win, which you just talked about?
Yep.
And Ian, I think you mean criminal, that you get a lawyer without paying if you can't afford one. Yes, that's exactly right.
Right.
Time and stress,
which you don't want anyways.
Right. Bo Randall says, time and stress, sleepless nights, can't put a price on that. Exactly. You don't get those years back.
You don't get those years back. Definitely lost years on it, because not only was I paying well in excess of $100,000+, probably close to $2. the problem is I was doing a lot of this myself too, because I am not one to sit back and just say, here, attorneys do whatever. I was writing motions. I was writing stuff and then submitting them in and saying, look, review this. If there's anything wrong, fix it, and then put it through. Because I knew what the frick was going on, because I worked for myself for 13 years in this business. So I knew this inside and out more than any of the attorneys. So I was doing a lot of it myself. But that's how I am. I'm hands-on. I can't just like, be like, here, you do it, and then just hope for the best. I'm not that guy,
Ian said you won not having to pay the $55 million. Yes.
Didn't pay. No.
We were broke
after paying all the attorneys, but they didn't get a dime. Not a single dime, and they paid. We estimated well over $1 million in attorney fees that they paid, because they had.
Oh, they had to.
Yeah. It was well over $1 million. Probably closer to $2 million over the 4 years. So it's good for them, right? It's just a little dent in $1 billion company. They could care less.
Exactly.
Hello from New Zealand.
Yes.
Your wife looks gorgeous. Look at that.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. You see? Thanks a lot, Scott.
It was
Appreciate
called
that.
going to the gym and not having time.
I know. We literally
Women know
came in
how
here.
that goes down.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ranch Dad. Had anyone experienced performance issues with Pure VPN? Had issues with the LA servers last week.
Yeah, so we were using Pure VPN before. Now we're using this company over here. I think it just popped up, I believe. It is Speedify. And I think, bear in mind, whenever you're using a VPN of any kind, you're going through multiple hops, right? And there is 256-bit encryption going on and all the rest of the stuff. So as you go through more hops, you're going to end up getting some speed slowdown, right? Additional hops, other kind of things. So Pure VPN probably was having a problem with their server in that location, and then they just work it out, or they just go and change it over. Now, right now, we're using Speedify. Matter of fact, you can see it on the screen right now. It says that it's streaming bonding. Now, watch that. Right now it says bonding. The reason being is both Starlink and, you can see them both are working. Starlink and T-Mobile are both working equally as well. Now, did you see that it just turned into redundantly streaming? What that means is, instead of streaming as bonded for speed, because probably one of the services, either Starlink or T-Mobile, dropped out for a split second, it's like, wait a second, hold on. This guy is streaming, and it knows through its built-in AI, it knows that we're streaming right now, and it says, wait a second, let's go ahead and send the packets mirrored. So what it does is it sends a packet, the exact identical packet, down both streams, down both tunnels, let's call it, one through T-Mobile and one through Starlink. And it does that so that we don't go down. So once you see that redundantly go away and it says bonding again, that means that both streams or both ISPs are doing what they should be doing with no slowdowns, latency, or any outages. So that's one of the reasons why we're using Speedify now, is because of this, Right. It just simply works for bonding connections together. Anyways.
A quick shout out to Peter, because he's always our moderator
Yeah,
on here
he's
for
in there.
us. So we appreciate it. And you weren't here last week. You said you were in the hospital. So
yes,
we hope you're feeling better, and we're happy that you're back. We missed you last week with that. We had said, the week before, was it? No,
it was the week. Yeah, last week you were gone.
I was gone.
The week before,
yeah. So
Peter,
anyways,
thank you so much for all that you do here.
Better.
Putting all that in there, and I hope you feel good. Hopefully everything is good.
Yeah.
Out of the hospital is a good place to be. When you go to the hospital, they always say, we want to get you out of here as soon as possible. And you're like, why is that? You're in a hospital. You think that you're safe.
Yeah. No, a good doctor will say, we want you out of here.
Get the hell out of the hospital.
Arnie said that it was a great week for future electric car owners.
What was going on, Arnie?
Batteries or something?
Yeah, batteries. What was going on this week? With I know Elon. I know Musk was over in China for, I think, I don't know, he was going over, with the people at I think the plant, or some of the people that are over in China, getting things together, because as far as I understand, a lot of these vehicles Tesla vehicles, over 50%, I think 51% of Tesla vehicles are actually made in China and sold in China. I was floored when I read that. I'm like, really? I thought they were all in, California, and they're all like US. They're not. Literally over half, I think 52% are actually made and sold in China. And I actually like that. I think that he should have, and that's what he's doing right now, all the vehicles that are made in China are sold in China. All the vehicles that are made in California are sold in the U.S. and so on and so forth. I think that's great because you are now bringing the economy up in the location where you're actually selling the product, right? It just, to me, makes a lot more sense, number one. Number two, just think about transportation. You're not boating cars across the ocean. You're making them over there and you're selling them over there. I think that's great. Same thing over here. So either which way. Anyways, Arnie, anything that you have come up with that maybe I didn't touch on, let me know.
Off topic, Arnie said that him and his wife have been married for 50 years and they never fight. They never had a fight. What? Come on.
Never had a fight? I fight with her all the time. I don't even like her.
I don't like him. He gets on my nerves.
Like me.
Oh my God.
She even told her boss she doesn't like me.
All the time. I love to hate him every day.
So bad. So bad. What is this, Ranch? That's a typical married couple. Yes, Stroller 6801 says my wife does the same.
Good for her.
That's the honey-do list, right? The honey-do list.
Yes, but the you have to do it.
It's a honey-do.
But you don't do it.
It's a honey-do maybe.
No.
It's a honey maybe do.
Oh my God, I can't even.
Something like that. I don't know.
Someone told you to stop while you're ahead. Cough, cough. So
I better. Let me see here. So we have Tech Drone says my new build PC went nuts with the AMD RX 6950. Wow. So driver issues, but was fixed a few days ago. Nice. AMD, I'm using an AMD, the Ryzen. I actually like AMD a lot more than what I thought. It doesn't crash. Like, I've been using this one. My son and I built this one that I'm using right now, and it's just been solid for probably 2.5, 3 years now without any issues. It's probably more like 4 years because I have a time problem in my head. So, but either way, it's been really solid. So I'm glad that you got that issue fixed. Let me see. Yeah, that was Bear that said quick while I'm ahead. Then underneath that, off-brand or Adobe. Yes, we touched on that. Ian says, I think you mean a criminal.
Yeah, we
they
did
get
that one
a
already.
lawyer without paying. Yes.
Here, Ricky has a question. I couldn't find a setting to change the DNS on my AT&T gateway. Should I just change the DNS on my devices, or is there a way to change on the gateway? I got the PACE 5268AC AT&T gateway. Yeah, so whenever you're using like AT&T or any of these gateways, these routers, they are pretty much crap, literally crap. What I would do is I would turn everything off in that gateway, and I would switch it to bridge mode so that it now bridges just the data itself into a third-party router. Pick a router, whatever one you want. Okay, pick an AX router, my suggestion. Matter of fact, I put some routers, I think in a lot of my videos, you'll see a list that I've tested. And you can go back to some of those videos to see those me testing them. But anyways, get a good, solid, decent router that has good QoS, quality of service in there. And then every one of those is going to allow you to change DNS settings in there. It's just AT&T doesn't because they're garbage. Starlink didn't forever. Since the very beginning, you weren't able to get into the router and do much of anything. And just the other week, we finally, with the new, I think it was version 16 or whatever it was, 0.16. But now we have the ability to change DNS, which is great. But yeah, get a third-party router. You'll be happier. And just let AT&T's router just simply act as a modem, and that's basically it, and send the information over to the third party and let the third party actually do the routing. So there it is. There it is.
Let's see, what do we have here?
What is $50 a month? Is that someone's
$50 a month? What is that?
That was John.
John K. Wolf. John? T-Mobile.
Oh, okay. I missed that. I'm like, I don't know where
Oh, it won't let you either. Yeah, because remember, T-Mobile, it's not made for, it has no advanced properties at all to it, so there's not much that you can do with it. That's just basically it. If you want to use your Starlink router, if you want to use a T-Mobile router or whatever, most of the time you would just use a third-party router and just do it that way. It just simply works better. So yeah, I just got in some just really cool antennas, and I've been waiting on these, and I've been telling you guys about it, and they just came in. They're in the back of my car, actually. They shouldn't be.
Why?
But, because
Why?
I just picked them up, and
When did you pick them up again?
I don't know. They've been there for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But they are specifically for that gateway. Like you can use the T-Mobile gateway or a Verizon gateway or anything like that. And what that will do is it'll allow you to get signal into the gateway instead of using the gateway for the little 4 antennas that are inside of it that are just complete crap. So I'm excited about testing that out. You guys are going to see that probably next week, maybe the following week. It just depends how things go. I'm trying to work things out with timing, but I'm excited about that because that should be able to give us a faster service, which would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
So let me get into some of the things from this week. Number one that we were talking about was the terminals that were being sold into the Ukraine. And I did a whole piece on this regarding, what do you guys think about that? Should we, the taxpayers, be paying for the Starlink terminals to be sold into the Ukraine or not? And there was a lot of people that went back and forth on this issue. Yes, we should. No, we shouldn't. Elon has been paying for quite some time for these terminals to be not only delivered there, but also in operation, right? So Starlink has been one of those things that have been a lifesaver for the Ukrainian people, but as of late, some of the Ukrainian army has figured out how to use those terminals to fly drones and other things into combat. And Elon is like, no, we're not going to do that. I want it to be for humanitarian reasons, not for military reasons. So he turned off certain things so that you can't use this Starlink over there in the Ukraine for offensive use cases, let's say. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we now, according to what I'm understanding, the DoD, the Department of Defense, is actually purchasing. They finally said, yes, we are going to purchase Starlink and pay for Starlink for X number into the Ukraine.
That's great.
But the problem with that is like I said before, I mean, if the DoD is buying it,
where's the DoD getting the money from?
From us.
There you go.
Right? Taxpayers.
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't just come out of the air. I don't know. So, I mean, I want to know what you guys think. In the chat, let me know.
Trey said, my woman knows who's boss in my house, and she tells me everything I need to do. Good man, Trey. Hi, Jeff from LA County. Steve is here. Hey, Steve. You're here.
Steve.
So Steve says no Ukraine, and Bear says no, we should not pay.
Yeah, it's really a hard choice, and a lot of people have been saying the exact same thing that you guys have been saying. It's just
John said if we're paying for the Starlink, we should be able to fly drones.
Well, there you are. So I don't know exactly, how they're going to go about the whole thing. But what I do know is that it's definitely stated that the monies are going to be put out to Elon to purchase Starlinks and send them over into the Ukraine and pay for the service.
You know what? I'm just going to say, this is my opinion. I am sick and tired of my money going everywhere else when we have a lot of stuff, housekeeping to clean up here.
I do have a problem with some of that too, because, like when I see, us or the United States helping other countries, it gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling because they sugarcoat it. But then when we look on the news and you see VA hospitals that used to be funded really well, and the military are having to wait a year for an operation, I get pissed off about that. All right. That is a freaking problem. That is a big problem. So I do believe in helping other people.
Yeah, just
but
can we help ours first?
I think that we need to, put forth some of that same effort in the U.S. before we put forth the same or equal amount of effort everywhere else.
Yep.
That's just the way I look at it. I think that's pretty logical. I don't think that's being nasty in one way or another. I think that just makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
I mean, when you're on a plane, the first thing they tell you is to put your own oxygen mask on before you help anybody else. So,
Yeah.
But anyways, we veered off, and you're going to
That's
start
what always
talking.
happens.
I know.
Absolutely. Yeah. So on, I think it was just last week, Elon went over to China, and I was reading an article over there, and I didn't even know this, guys. Maybe you guys did, but they had a conversation about this, and it's very controversial. It's called the 996. 996. It says the controversial 996 cultural reference to a system in which employees work. Now listen to this, work from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Hence 996. So in China, they're actually working 9 to 9, 12 hours a day, 72 hours a week. And that is it. So when I was reading that, I'm like, wow. Elon's over there and they're building the plants and doing all this stuff. But then when I see that they're actually working these people literally like dogs, I'm like, that is just crazy. 996. So yeah, it's highly controversial, but that is exactly what's going on. So he was over there speaking to, I think it was like the minister, and talking about what is going to be going on when it comes to batteries and outsourcing stuff and bringing in. I think what Elon has finally figured out is that if he puts his trust into a third party for lithium, for batteries, for anything, any kind of parts or any kind of raw materials, it's a bad thing, because now it puts him behind the eight ball. So he's like thinking, we need to get lithium mines, we need to buy extensive amounts of lithium, we need to buy this and that, we need to do our own stuff. So I found that was quite interesting, because originally a lot of the stuff was like kind of sourced in, but it just simply doesn't work all the time. The people over in China, they call him Iron Man. Iron Man. I mean, that's an endearing name if you think about it.
Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, right? They absolutely love Elon in China. And I mean, rightfully so. I mean, imagine how many jobs or how much the economy is being boosted if you think about 51 to 52% of all Tesla cars being made and sold in China. That is a lot, right? I mean, that is a ton. That's not just a little bit. That is a lot. So, I know there was people that were talking about it and saying, well, should he be over there? Should he not be over there? Maybe he should be worrying more about, in the U.S. and all this stuff. But you know what? It has to do with trade. And, if it doesn't matter which party is in government at any given time, someone like Elon that is making cars or making a living by outsourcing product or even having their manufacturing in other places, they don't really care about what's going on with the government. They just care about their bottom line and getting some type of relations, not trade relationships, let's just say, with the government, but just relationships with them to be able to get things, together. So it was, it was a good article, and I know I did an entire piece on it. There was a lot of people that were asking about this and like what is going on and stuff. So I guess at the end of all of it, he came back and everything is copacetic and they are building out as they would normally. But I think a lot of what he's doing now going forward is really bringing in his own materials and not outsourcing for third-party stuff. So that's smart.
That is smart. I always think it's smart.
Yeah.
Can only fits. Oh no, Tom. Hey, Tom.
Tom.
Felicity Ace, a roll-on roll-off ship sunk because if an electric car in fire on it.
Oh, who wrote this?
3,965 new and used vehicles were on board when it sank after burning over a week. Tom Mussington.
Oh wow! Let me go up here and find that. Did I miss it?
Well, I don't know. You're going. Okay,
yeah,
where are
I'm
you
going down. Nope, I don't see it. I will go up.
If you would
There he is.
That's
Tom from, let me see, Grand
It's
Canyon.
Tom.
Yep, I see
It's
it.
down here. Stop going so fast. Go up a little bit. Oh my gosh.
It's in here somewhere. But let me look at yours. So what does it say now? It has that. All right. So roll off ship sunk because of electronic fire. Okay, 3,965 new and used vehicles were on board, and that they sank. So it was burning for over a week. Well, yeah, lithium will burn forever. I mean, it'll burn for quite some time. I didn't hear about this, Tom. I did not hear about this. So let's call it 4,000 cars. Those 4,000 cars, were those cars Teslas? Were they Toyotas? Were they, what EVs, what electronic vehicles were they? Share. Definitely share. That's very interesting.
I missed this question. I don't know where it's here, but Ian.
Well, what does Ian say? Have you heard of a framework laptop? You can change out components, including motherboard, and still use old motherboard. And Coolmaster has case for it. Make a computer out of printed case. I have not. But you know what? I mean, for the most part, all your old computer parts, you can reuse them in another case. You can stick in an old motherboard. Matter of fact, that book that I wrote, How to Create a Digital Fort Knox, Backing Up Your Digital Life, was exactly that. I took old, like decade-old parts, and I created a unraid server out of it that has, I think it's like 32 or 40 terabytes of space on it. So yeah, you can take old parts and do just about anything with it. But you just got to make sure that the motherboard and the case itself is compatible with each other as far as size goes. But that's really about it for the most part. Let's see.
So we already read this one here.
Okay,
So
let me
now
come on down here.
right
All right. Hey, Chaplain Stephen here.
It's
Steven.
Steve.
Steven. Chaplain.
Steve.
Chaplain Steve.
Just Steve.
Just Steve.
God, I can't.
It says we need to take
Do you
our.
have a button? Do I have
No,
to
no.
reboot you?
You should. Just like, he says we should take care of our own first. You know what? I agree. I really do. I do. You know, I am one to, give back. As you can see, like we just did that 3,000 push-up challenge.
Yes, and thank you to all you guys because we did it. We were almost to the goal. We did more than the year before when you did the No Shave November.
Yeah.
So
Shave
that was
November,
awesome.
we raised $1,400
Yeah.
for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And then the last one, the 3,000 push-up challenge that I just did, ended in May. And it was $2,300 and something.
Yeah.
Let's call it $2,400.
Yeah.
So we made like an extra $1,000 for the kids with cancer. That was awesome. But anyways, I love raising money for charity. This is how I am. But just like Steve says, we need to come first sometimes. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times we don't come first anymore.
Oh my gosh, forever we haven't
And it's
come
just,
first.
I think it's problematic, and especially when it comes to our veterans. I mean, the reason why, Fabiola and myself can sit here and just chit chat with you guys is because there are young folks out there that are fighting for our country or protecting us every single day. And then when they are done protecting us and maybe even go to war, when they come back, they need to be taken care of just like they are, let's say they get their just due, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big task to put onto someone 18, 20 years old to literally, fight for your country. And then when they come back here and you see like these VAs, these veterans that can't get, medical assistance for a year. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's pathetic, in my personal opinion. It's pathetic. Let's see. Steve says the Bible says it as well. Benny says, hey guys, how are you doing, Benny? So glad you're here. Can they only fit many in laptops? Oh, as far as laptops, yeah, the problem with laptops are it's very difficult to change components with the laptops. I have not seen a modular laptop just because of the way that they're made. It doesn't really make for modularity very, very well. Peter says maybe you should pay more in taxes here. It says maybe you should pay more in taxes. Here in Denmark, we pay 40 to 60% in taxes. Peter from Denmark, 40 to 60%
That's
taxes.
hard, Peter.
40 to 60%. I mean, that is a lot of money.
That
I mean,
is
think about it.
crazy.
I mean, in Canada,
That's
they're
more
paying
than
over
half
50.
your pay.
Yeah, in Canada, it's over 50%, I
Yeah.
believe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, here it varies. It depends on how much you make. It depends on this, that, and the other thing. But we're paying, sometimes like if you have a company and you pay, individual taxes and corporate taxes.
You know what
pay
I think it is? It's like everything here is like a la carte. So it seems like it's less, but sometimes when you're doing this, then you add that and that and that, and then all of a sudden you're like, Houston, we have a problem.
We have a problem. Yeah, I mean, just healthcare here in the U.S. I mean, you're looking at $1,000, $1,400. Sometimes some people are paying close to $2,000 a month for
it's
healthcare.
horrible.
If you take a look at that and you put that into the cost of your 50% in Canada, well, now you have socialized medicine and they have healthcare. How good it is? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Thank you, Peter. We really do appreciate keeping that up in there. That is great. What is this here? Joey says, I got a free tablet from a company called Whoop Connect. Really? I got the tablet, went and set it up, but it said that it is set up to an organization, and then it died the next day. Really? Well, I hope, Ricky, you didn't pay a lot for that laptop. I know there's a lot of like really bogus like laptop deals that go on eBay. I've seen some of them, and they'll say one thing and it's actually like a Chinese laptop that isn't even like a no brand. They just like stamp like it's all fake stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and if you open the laptop up to see what components are in there, and they're like literally just generic junk. So yeah, you almost have to be really careful with this stuff. It's just crazy. The stuff that you buy now. You just don't even know.
You have to question everything.
So much stuff that's fake. It's just craziness.
Yeah. Okay, so I have some questions coming in.
John said that's why Elon is making a battery plant in Texas. Exactly.
Yeah.
That is exactly right.
Let's talk about this because
oh God,
7 spliffs landed. The little alien head landed in Las Vegas. What is going on? I mean, we do live in clown world, and just I don't even know anymore. I don't even know what to say anymore. When
you hear like I saw that too.
Like I remember Elon in that interview said
there is no aliens.
He would.
He's like, I am the space guy.
Right.
If there were aliens, I would know about it.
But that's Elon. But there's other people. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, there was I was watching a video.
I don't know what to think
and there was
about
there was like cops, a bunch of cops. And they had their like cams on, and there was like this thing that just like landed. It was like that bright green light thing, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And it just landed, and then there's people saying there was like these 8-foot looking things that they saw, and this and that. I'm like, this stuff, I mean, you can't even make this shit up anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting crazy. And then it's like for so long, the government has been stonewalling all of like the alien stuff. And then all of a sudden, like last year or something, they're like, there is unmanned vehicles traveling at like Mach, I don't even know what. And it's doing these right-hand turns that if there was a human on board that vehicle, whatever unmanned or manned vehicle, if there was a human in there, they would be liquefied. Yeah. They would literally be liquefied because of the G-forces that they would experience by moving the way. And they literally have it on camera. So what the hell is it? I don't know. But it doesn't really make a hell of a lot of sense because there's nothing that we know of that can actually travel at that speed and then stop and then accelerate to that speed again and then make like a right-hand turn. It's just not possible. Like I said, anything in it would literally be liquefied. It would be smashed with hundreds of tons of force due to the G-forces. I don't even know.
I don't know what to think anymore.
I don't even know.
But,
like I said, it was like forever. No, there was no aliens. Now all of a sudden there's aliens everywhere.
I leave the house at 5. Like I get up at 5, so I leave in the dark. And I'm always like looking for the coyotes or some random animal.
You're gonna find aliens.
Bigfoot. But who knows? Maybe I will. Now that just added to the other list of things to look over your shoulder for.
Coyotes and small creatures.
Yes. Arnie said the ship, the Felicity Ace. went down at 9 a.m. local time after tilting starboard,
Starboard.
plunging about 4,000 cars, including more than 1,000 Porsches and 200 Bentleys into the sea. Oh, wow! You see,
I didn't even see that.
because the news doesn't really report. But
That is a
anyways,
lot
that
of
is
EVs.
crazy.
Just think about all of those batteries that now,
Dang.
with the salt water, they're going to deteriorate over time. And now you have all of that lithium and all of that junk that's going to be in the ocean, right? It's just going to be like a hot mess. So it's basically, they just created a massive coral reef out of 4,000 cars, and some of them are Bentleys and Porsches. So that is pretty crazy. That is crazy. I didn't even hear that. That is just nuts. That's a lot.
Thank you, John. Your wife is very beautiful. Make you look good too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, you seem disappointed. Exactly.
You are beautiful. I always tell you you're beautiful.
You are on a roll tonight. Okay.
Steven says battery
wait.
power is going to be the new bandwidth. It could be. It
Where
really
did
could
you
be.
just jump to?
Right here.
Yeah, but I wasn't even
No,
there.
look. This is the alien landing.
Okay.
It's right here.
But you missed this whole thing. You see, he's on a whole level.
All right. What does Peter say? How goes with the NAS video update and breakdown of the NAS computer? So I need to install, I think I told you guys in the last video, I need to install additional hard drive space into that NAS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it apart, and I'm going to install another drive, and I'm going to do all the formatting, all this stuff, and just show you how it's done and how easy it is. So that's going to be the next video about that NAS. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm getting low on space, and I think I had 32 terabytes or 30 some terabytes, and I'm down to a small number, and I need to fix that. It's just doing video every day, or just about every day. You can imagine how much storage it takes to be able to do. So yeah, I'm working on that. The drive has not arrived yet, but once it does, I'm going to break down that computer, and I'm going to show you guys how it's done.
Scott says, Joseph, you need rebooting your way off course today. Wakey, wakey. It's Saturday. Well, over here it is. LOL.
Appreciate that, Scott. Yeah, I could be off course a lot. All right. I do have that ADD shit, and I'll start like catching butterflies and stuff, and yeah.
Stu Buntu, I think I can sell the wife on Starlink. My router is going bad. How many devices does their router handle? I have a dozen plus Wi-Fi cameras, Wi-Fi outlets, light switches, handhelds, and probably 50 plus.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter, Stu. Like, if you want Starlink, then you could just pick up Starlink and just buy a dongle. It's like a little Ethernet dongle for it. And what that does is it takes the signal, instead of using its Wi-Fi, and sends it to your third-party router. So get a really good router that's going to handle, let's say, 100 connections, and you're good to go. So that's the best way to do it. But yeah, if you can get Starlink today, I think it's definitely worth it for sure. Especially if you don't have fiber, or you have fat cable, or as I call it, fat copper, or cable, some type of Xfinity or Comcast or something like that. If you don't have those available, Starlink is the best non-terrestrial internet, period. That's just the way it is. Let's see.
Okay.
Ian.
Ian, yes.
Let's see. What does it say? Yes, case.
No,
is,
Yes.
no, case is designed around it, about as thick as a MacBook, and not damaged case prying apart. Yeah, so I guess you're looking to tear that thing apart to go and put in your own parts. I mean, good luck. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if it's a case that's designed to be able to, take it apart, then it's okay. If you're prying the thing apart and then you end up with like having to use snot dots and shit to kind of like stick it back together, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it, honestly. You can get computers today so cheap, so cheap. I mean, I've seen like Apple, if you're an Apple fan, Apple like iMac, or like, or even the laptops, right? Like a MacBook Pro, or even the Air, but the Intel version, no one wants Intel anymore. Oh no, we have to have an M1 or an M2, right? You can get the Intel versions for cheap really, really cheap, and they're still awesome. So check into that. Literally, you can get like an Air for probably like $700, $600, and it will be awesome with only like maybe 2 years old or something. So I would check into something like that than going through all of the work and then hoping that it works, and it's just a headache.
John, question. I
yeah.
put my router on T-Mobile and restarted, then can't find my cameras. Do I have to reset them?
The problem with using one of these devices is most of these devices use the way it works is they have a pool of IP addresses, and then they give you, it's called carrier grade NAT. All right, I don't want to get into all the details. It's called CGNAT. Anyways, a lot of these companies have CGNAT as a way to be able to give you an IP address and give you the same IP address that 100 other people have. So what that means is it's very hard for you to access any type of system on your local side if you're looking at it from the outside, because your IP address is the same as like 100 other people, right? So the only way to do it well is to use like a company like a VPN company like PureVPN, for example, that allows you to have a static IP, or another company that gives you a static IP so that you can use that instead of the random IP address that you get from T-Mobile, Starlink, a lot of these companies, right? That's really the best way to do it. So yes, you'll end up losing your connection, but you shouldn't lose the connection on your local side, local area network. But outside, you're gonna have a problem because of CGNet. Anyways,
Steve
like
said, I also support T2T tunnels. Oh, the tunnels to towers for the veterans. Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, that absolutely.
And real Nikon lover. Amen. Support the vets.
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay,
question, Nilsson.
Thank you for being here, Jim.
Yes. I have a question for you guys. It's better to have less people using Starlink at your area? Question. I don't really know why I am making the question, LOL, but I think less people, better service.
Yeah, so Nelson, the way it works is when you're in a node, a certain location, and there's a lot of people that are using Starlink in that location, what ends up happening is you end up with congestion, and it slows everything down. So the best thing is to be in a location that has very few people in it.
Right.
But the thing is
but
where do you find that?
Yeah.
You know? So we're on like 5 acres, right? And there's not a lot of people in this community. But we have a park, okay, that is a KOA park where there's a lot of people, a lot of throughput of people that come and visit with their campers, their mobile homes, all of their tents, and they do all this stuff. Whenever there's something big going on, all of a sudden we probably go from, let's say, only 200 Starlink customers in my node to probably 2,000. Because now there's all of these people piled up in this KOA. And the majority of people today that have RVs, they have Starlink on them, right?
Yeah.
So it will slow things down. So that's the whole idea with congestion. But yeah, you want to be in an area that doesn't have a lot of people, but you're not in control of that. So it doesn't make a difference.
Peter said, we have free healthcare and free education in Denmark.
There you go. Free, meaning that you're paying for it, but through taxes. But yeah, it's free. And, yeah, it's always, there's always that give and take, right? Do you pay for it in your taxes? Do you pay for it up front? How do you want to pay for it?
Pay me now, pay me later.
Pay me now, pay me later. There's no free lunch. I've always said that, right? I always, my statement is always the Pope doesn't say a mass for free, right? That doesn't matter. It could be a rabbi, it could be whoever. They don't say service for free. There's always something. You have to pay no matter what. There's no free lunch, no matter what. Ian, in England, you pay at pump for medical care.
Ah.
There you go. So they must have a ton of tax on your gas, is what Ian is saying in England. There you go. There's all, like I said, you're going to pay one way or another. Low Tech Greg says less government, better government. Facts. I agree with that statement, Low Tech, but I do think that the caveat to that is federal government. Like, I like the local government to pay for local stuff, right? And not just continue to pay into the federal government that goes and takes all of that money and goes sends it away to other countries. Whereas the local government is going to use that for the roads and lights and all the rest of the crap that we really need, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't mind paying if you actually get what you pay for. The problem is you don't. That's like the problem.
Flying Pretzel, 50 on red, 7 spleefs. Not sure what that is. I know 7 spleefs was someone that was talking on here, but I don't know. They're talking to each other.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Ricky, do you have Circle K there today? In Palatka, we went to 3 different ones to get gas. They all said the store was closed due to system failure. We had to go to a racetrack to get gas. That's weird.
I've been seeing weird stuff when it comes to gas. We've been seeing weird stuff when it comes to the grocery stores where there's like certain things that are missing or there's less things than normal. I just heard yesterday that there is a shortage of some kind of the power transformers. Like the transformers, that you see that blow up when lightning hits it, that type of thing. Those transformers, there's the electric transformers. Yeah, they're missing. Like there's a shortage of them. So like, what is that all about? There's just like weird stuff going on. And I'm not like one of those conspiratorialist, I guess it would be, with like conspiratory theories of some kind. I'm just not that guy.
A lot of those have been coming true, but yeah.
That's kind of true too. What a conspiracy, like any kind of conspiracy today is fact tomorrow. Yeah. Conspiracy, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. There's some weird stuff. It is kind of crazy. I do believe that no matter, who you are, I do believe in not being like a prepper, let's say, so to speak, and being just absolutely nuts and digging like a bunker, like with like gas masks and stuff. I think at that point we're all dead. But I do believe though in keeping cash, keeping some type of
well, we were talking about the ham radios last time,
Yeah, there's a lot of ham radio operators out there that you want to be a friend with, because if things went south, ham radio operators are the ones that are going to be able to communicate throughout the world. They're going to be our eyes and ears, or our ears, let's say. Yeah. I just think that you really need to keep like cash money in the house. You need to be able to be aware,
alert, and
keep extra food, extra water.
Have things that you don't fully rely on electricity.
Yeah, like necessities. The way I look at it is like, let's say as of like right now, power goes out and there's no power at all, right? In your region. That means you're not going to get gas. That means if you go to the store and you have credit cards, right? You're not going to get food. You're not going to, like for us, we're on a homestead that we have to pump our own water out of the ground, right? Because we have well. We don't have septic. We don't have water from the city. So what that means is there's no water anymore with no electric. So there's got to be, you have to, I think, look at all of this stuff and say, hey, I need to put systems in place, and we don't have enough of these systems, to be honest, that need to be put into place. But and that's not being like, prepper crazy, but I think that's just being smart, being cautious, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see.
Real Nikon Lover, thank you so much for that.
Hey, who is that? Real Nikon Lover, Jim? Is that you, Jim? Thank you so much for that super chat. Really do appreciate it. Super chats are always so greatly appreciated when we hang out here with you guys during the weekend here, or I guess close to the weekend.
Fridays, I feel like we talk about everything. We go off topic. We just go random.
Hang out. It's fun. Anything you want to talk about, that's what we talk about.
Fat Ninja of the West. Yes. Is anyone else getting random pauses, or is it just my internet dying?
Good question. So let me go ahead and switch over to here so you can see this. So this is the Speedify on the right-hand side, okay? Watch that, guys, okay? If you see an outage on that like little chart, that bar graph, then you know that we are out. But right now it says that we're streaming redundantly. That means that we're streaming. Bits are going out, bytes are going out, mirrored over both T-Mobile and Starlink simultaneously. And right now, we're showing as no outage. So I'm going to think that is probably you. But if we go down here, look at this, guys. So we've been streaming. Now, if you look at this, Speedify knows that we've been streaming, right? It says that it has so far, in the last hour and 1 minute, It has saved from excessive latency a total of 59 times, and it has saved the connection with failover 5 times. That means that it either Starlink failed or T-Mobile failed, and it flip-flopped from one to the other. And then it found excessive latency from one or the other, and it switched over to the other one. So as you can see, it's doing what it's supposed to do, but you can keep watching that. I'll leave that up on the screen for a few minutes. But watch that graph. If you see it dump to nothing, then you know there's a problem. But if it stays the way it is right now, we're broadcasting, let's say, without issue.
John says Shinwalker Ranch. That would be us if we had an alien in the property.
Pretty much, yeah.
Steve said, we have so many officials who have sworn to uphold and defend the Constitution of the U.S. and have zero idea what it says. That is 100%.
How many of these people have never read the Constitution, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, when we went to school, it was a necessity. We had to break down the Constitution and, you know, do almost like reports, essays on each section. We just needed to know like what it's all about. It is our Constitution. Why wouldn't we know it, right? So yeah, I agree. They just it's the stuff that we see today. I'm baffled by a lot of it, but
yeah. Low Tech Greg says Bentleys are such POSs, expensive POSs.
Yeah,
I mean, but they look kind of nice.
They look hot, right? But you know what? And I said this in a previous video when I was talking about people buying Leica cameras. And I was speaking about how Zeiss was, after 177 years, Zeiss Optics is a German. I'm not sure where they're out of Germany. I think they were in Essen. Anyways, they're out of Germany, and Zeiss Optics was always the best. So they've been doing this for 177 years, and now they've said, we are not making Zeiss lenses for photo anymore. We're only making Zeiss lenses for movies, and that's it. Because they can't justify making these lenses because not enough people are buying them, which is really, really quite sad. But I was talking about how Leica is one of those brands where people will pay 3 or 4 times as much for the Leica camera, even though it's the same as another camera, because they just want to do it. So yeah, same thing with Bentley. You know, I look at it this way also. And I made a comment on the video. I said, you know, if you were to go to a gala, right? And let's say we're going to go and see like some famous people, and we're going to go to a gala event, something big. Are you going to wear a Apple Watch, or would you rather wear an Apple Watch, or would you wear a Rolex or an Omega, or something like that? You know. So if you're going to go to the gala, you probably won't want to wear that Apple Watch. But if you're going to the gym, the Apple Watch is the bomb. You're not going to wear like an Omega to the gym. It just doesn't make sense, right? So it's like the right tool for the right job. Yeah. But is there a right job for a Bentley?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. It does look pretty cool driving into the
way above my pay grade.
Mine too.
Ian said, I guess the sea creature will go in style.
Yes.
Dwayne, I'm only getting 3.5 megabyte per second going through copper wire here in Kentucky.
Holy crap.
I switched to T-Mobile right now, but I'm thinking about getting a Starlink.
Definitely. So if you're getting 3.5 megabits per second on copper, I'm going to guess that you're not using fat copper or like one of the copper companies like that has coaxial copper. Like who is it? Cox, I think there's a few of them out there. Comcast is one of them. Those, they can push 300 megabits without a problem. But the fine copper, like AT&T or something like me with UVerse or with DSL, that copper is just complete crap. And yeah, we're getting right now 15 megs down and 1.5 megabits up through that copper. And that's a bonded pair. That's two bonded pair. That's two pairs bonded together to be able to produce 15 by 1.5. Garbage. But we keep it as redundancy. We keep it for something that's in the ground. So if everything goes away, non-terrestrial, we have something terrestrial. So we have actually 3 internet services here right now. What is this? I switched to T-Mobile right now, but I'm thinking about Starlink. Yes, take a look at Starlink, Dwayne. Buy it. If you can buy it, Definitely do. Roy Robinson's FYI, TP-Link AX3000 supports 150 devices. Thank you for that. Yeah, TP-Link is what I did when I did my mesh network. I did a video. It's got, I don't even know. That video has got 60, 100,000 views or something crazy. I did a whole video on just building a mesh network. Check that out. It actually has like a girl with like mesh stockings on it, and the I think it's like purplish color. So look for it. In the Starlink playlist. I think there's about 160 videos in the Starlink playlist. It's in there. But yeah, that AX3000, 150 devices, that's pretty damn good. You can't beat that. That's nice. Stu, what does he have to say? I was just thinking to tell your wife to buy Starlink for now at least. Tell the wife to buy Starlink for now, at least a few months before the new router for 600 versus the router for 300. So, yeah, right now it's $599 for the router. If you can get it for 300, half price, I would say buy it. I mean, there's people that are getting it, I think in Canada, for like $199.
That's so crazy.
I mean, I paid 600. You know, there's also people in the UK that are getting Starlink for free, for $15 a month, and they send the equipment. You just pay monthly, $15 a month. So there's different. If you see, you know, that really good deal, just grab it. I mean, that's just a steal in my personal opinion. Definitely $300. Grab it. You'll be happy with it. Trust me. It's a good service. Tommy G. Experience says, thank you for the help with Starlink DNS server change. It helped me with latency and speed regarding Pure or VPN. I have it, and it is not always reliable. Did you stop dealing with them because of that? No. Actually, Pure VPN I still recommend if you're looking for a static IP, because Speedify does not give you a static IP, or you can't buy a static IP. But Pure VPN doesn't allow you to do bonded, like bonding of pairs. Like I can take 4 or 5 different internet connections and bond them all together using Speedify and use all of them and get the full speed of them. So there's, you know, once again, there's the right tool for every job. So no, I mean,
it just depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It just depends on what you're doing. So for me right now, Speedify is working really well because I need to bond to be able to do these type of, lives. So it works out good, whereas PureVPN doesn't have that. So yeah, definitely check out PureVPN, guys, if you need a static IP. You know, if not, check out Speedify. I mean, like I said, I'm using them and it works out really well.
Oh yeah, this is good. This just came out this week. John wants to know what you think about the Apple VR for so much money.
The new headset?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think we have a lot of bubbling idiots already walking around. So now you have this full thing. Like,
what is this damn thing called, guys? What is it called?
It's the VR set.
Yeah, no,
Apple.
I know, but what the hell is it called? I forgot the name of it.
Here
it's the Vision Pro. Okay, let me bring this up on the screen so you guys can see it.
I don't think that's gonna do that great.
Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is what he's talking about, the Vision Pro. And just so you know that this right here is not really her eyes, okay? What it is this is solid. It's like a screen. But when it's on, it like photographs or it takes a picture of what her eyes look like and then displays it on the outside of this contraption. This is the dumbest shit ever. So they want like $3,500 for this, okay? Now, is this amazing for augmented reality, for a VR experience, using this Vision Pro? Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's so many sensors and all kinds of crap going on here and everything. But honestly, guys,
how much is it?
$3,500 and some dollars. Okay. Stop.
Sorry.
But honestly, guys, don't you think there's enough people right now walking down the street like this and crashing into people and like throwing themselves all over cliffs and stuff?
Or better yet, when you
just
have
imagine
social interaction, they're like,
and then they put this thing on, right? And you're like sitting next to your spouse, and then you look over at her, and that's all you see is like big eyes looking at you like this. I mean,
nope. Not in my house.
When you see people like at the dinner table texting each other and texting other people, and it's just, to me, I wasn't brought up that way. So when I see this, I think it is cool technology, and I love technology. I like robotics. I like electronics. I'm a Unix guy. I know Linux inside and out. I build off breadboards and come up with electronic. I've done a lot of stuff with that kind of thing, and I love it because I am a freaking nerd. But when I see this is past nerdy. This is just stupid. I mean, but I do think that it has a value. I just don't think. Now, this is my estimation. I don't think this is going to do well at all. That's what I think. This is the first thing since like the Apple Watch to come out that's innovative, that's new from Apple. I mean, you know, since Steve passed away, I mean, what has been new with Apple? I mean, it's iteration upon iteration. Oh, I got a faster CPU. If I hear about another iPhone being released and how the camera is better, I'm going to just die. I mean, just think about it. That's all that we hear about, right? Oh, yeah, we got the iPhone 26. Yeah, we now have 16 lenses on the back, right? There's 16 of them instead of 2 or 3 or 4 or 6. No, now we got 16. So it's just, to me, it's like more of the same old. Iteration instead of innovation. So this is innovative, but I just don't think it's going to be doing well because who has almost $4,000 to buy something like this?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to buy it.
No.
Even though I think it's cool. I mean, I don't know. It just, okay, my prediction, it's not going to do well. What do you think?
I told you that already. I don't have all of your experience. I just don't think it's
You look at it and you think it's comical and you say, that's it.
Yeah, like, no.
See, sometimes it's just easier that way.
Yeah, and the price, like, whatever.
There you go.
Yeah.
The answer is whatever.
See, for me, unless it's going to actually help me to, you know, wash the dishes, or
laundry,
something productive like that, then I'm like, no, not so much.
And there it is.
That's it.
Very simple.
That's all I got.
If these goggles,
it's all I got.
If these goggles are not going to do the dishes or laundry or anything like that, just we don't want them.
Or making my coffee in the morning.
Or something.
Yeah.
No. Let me see. Where do we end up with here?
Ian, right under
RV Life. How are you doing?
Yes.
How are
Good
you
evening.
doing? RV Life.
Check out company. You'll see what I meant is a repairable or upgradable. They sell the parts, have just throw away after would just check it. That was
Gotcha.
from Ian for, I guess, the laptop.
Yeah, he's working on the laptop thing. Absolutely.
Jeff said the ship that sank with the cars, it was from March 2022. Okay.
Oh, there you go. See, and I didn't even hear about it. That's so weird.
No.
Peter says, "Have you heard when Elon is going to launch Starship again?" So my prediction on the Starship is, okay. So I did a whole piece and I talked about how Starship is being delayed because of environmentalists and they want this and that and the other thing, and NASA and the government, the DoD, has said, listen, you know, if these people keep pushing us, we're going to push back really quick, and we're going to make an executive decision, basically say that it has to do with national security, and that's going to be the end of their lawsuit. Okay, so they're suing right now the FAA, and now Elon is in it with SpaceX to countersue it. It's all a big mess. So if all that gets rectified, I would say that the steel, right, at the bottom of this Starship that is going to be cooled through injection of water. So it's like it's a water injection thing that has like this massive steel plate. So when all of this thrust and all this fire is blowing on it, it's cooling continuously. Just think of a massive heat sink, right? Anyways, when that is done, which will probably be like in the next less than a month from now, is what I'm going to guesstimate. It would be a month after that when we'll see the Starship go up. So we're in, what do we know? June,
like
July. I would say probably July or August, maybe we'll see Starship Duo go up. And hopefully it doesn't blow up this time. And if it doesn't blow up, they will land it in the ocean, crash land it in the ocean, instead of dropping it down on the back of, or piggyback on a drone ship. But by the second time, they'll probably land it. And by the third and fourth time, probably we'll end up seeing a ton of the version 2 Starlink satellites go up in that fairing at the top of it. A ton, like hundreds of them. So We'll see what ends up happening. Fingers crossed, by the end of the year, we should see some version 2 full-size satellites in orbit. That would be sweet. Aliens must be stealing the Transformers. They could be. I don't know. Someone's stealing these damn Transformers. I don't know, Low-Tech. Greg, it's possible. Peter says, let me see. Here, it's Real Nikon Lover says, I just paid my tea tax. Yeah, get your bride a cup. Yes, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that. Matter of fact, I know Real Nikon Lover has bought some of the Dark Moon teas from us. So thank you for that also. What do you think about them? So let me see. John says it takes 6 months to make a transfer.
A home one, a transformer.
A transformer, a home one. I didn't know that. Wow, that is a lot. I didn't know that it takes that long.
Yeah.
Let's see. Backup equals 1. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what in backup. Low-Tech says 1 is none and 2 is 1. That's 100% true.
John said the music is nice, but it's putting him to sleep. John, don't go to sleep.
Don't do it.
Not yet.
I could turn it down. If you feel like you're fading out, I will turn down the music.
Ian said, I heard on the West Coast ports are shutting down workers on strike.
Really? That
Crazy.
I didn't hear.
Yeah,
See?
that's crazy. Steve said, we live on 5 acres as well in the forest and are subject to frequent power outages. It's not for everyone. No, it is not. We know all about that.
Mm-hmm. Question from John.
Where?
Low-Tech says, wow, guess I'm glad I still have my dad's Zeiss. Yeah, Conic Flex. Absolutely. I mean, I have my grandfather's, and I showed it, matter of fact, in the video. I think it's from 1929, 1934, somewhere around there. It's crazy. Bellows camera. And I've actually taken shots with it of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. Question, can you, and this is from John, he says, can you tell if the T-Mobile go down more or Starlink? Honestly, if you look at that, matter of fact, I'll flip that back on. If you watch it, you will see what's going on as far as, like right now it says bonding. That means that they're working independently to increase speed. Now it just popped up and said redundantly. That means that one of them had a spike, had some type of latency issue, and now since it's redundantly sending, if you look here, do you see how there's stars? Now this Ethernet Starlink has 3 or 2.5 stars, whereas T-Mobile has 3 stars. So what that means is right now at this specific second, Starlink is doing worse than T-Mobile. Now we saw that Starlink just popped back up to 3 stars. It was down to 2.5. So this is constantly rating the service and deciding through internal AI to either send data down both connections simultaneously mirrored, or use one or the other due to speed or to increase speed. Using bonding in comparison to using redundancy. So whenever you're doing redundant, remember you're sending the same exact data, which is going to obviously slow stuff down. So as of right now, it looks like T-Mobile was doing better than Starlink, but this changes all the time.
Okay, RMI, moving to a rural area and on the wait list for Starlink, getting rural internet is difficult. Also on waiting list for the T-Mobile and Verizon. God, I'm sorry, that's horrible.
Yeah, so T-Mobile and Verizon, if you don't have a tower near you like we do, we had a Sprint tower near us, but they just are converting it to T-Mobile, so we were able to get the T-Mobile here. We weren't able to get it for years. But if you can get Starlink, even if it's best effort or mobile, get that. I just got a message from someone, and they said, Joe, thank you so much for telling me to get best effort, because just today they moved him from best effort to standard. So basically when you get best effort, you stay like in a waiting line. Right. Even though you still have Starlink, it's at half the speed. But as soon as it's available, they automatically, you don't have to do anything. They automatically move you to full service, full coverage, or standard service. So he did that, and I would recommend anyone to do that. If you can get even best effort, just grab it now, and you'll be in the waiting list, and you'll get full service as soon as it's available in your location.
Okay, Steve says, He also has 3 internet services as well because they live on 5 acres. Adrian and Ruth, I'm really testing my T-Mobile home internet. Has worked daily good on my trips so far. Tennessee, Pittsburgh, West Virginia,
Wow.
Maryland, and
That's a lot of places.
Connecticut.
Wow. Traveling a lot. That's awesome.
Roy says I'm on T-Mobile home in my motorhome in Delaware, streaming through TP-Link mesh network, 75 megabytes down, 65 up.
Wow, that at 65 up is fast.
Yeah.
I want that. That's awesome.
Ian has
Really
a
nice,
question.
Roy. Really nice, Roy.
I know you have put a above ground tank pump water in before lose power and maybe cheaper on electricity. You can get a 12 volt pump and they pressurize the water like from city.
So Ian, that's a great point. We can do that and put, like, let's say a 500 gallon tank and then run the water into it through solar, let's say. But the problem with that is you need to have a well that's conducive of it. The well that we have is just simply the pipe that goes down, which is like a 2-inch pipe. The one that you're talking about, the pump is literally in the ground, 50, 60, 100 feet down, that's pumping the water up. We don't have a 4-inch well to be able to do that. So we're kind of stuck. Yeah. And our well pump is 240, 220 basically. It takes a lot of juice to be able to pull that water out of the ground.
Yeah. Tom had sent us that book that we need to read for the power situation.
Right. Yeah, we need to still go through that for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we have... Steve wants to know if your shirt comes in a crew neck.
Oh, yeah. Right now, we have just V-necks right online,
really
but yes, we can do crew neck also.
Yeah.
I don't have it online as of yet, but if you were to pick up this shirt in the notes or send email and say that you would like it in a crew neck, just let me know. And we'll be able to create this in a crew neck also, medium, large, extra large, whatever, what have you. So yeah, definitely you can order that, and we can do crew neck too, for sure.
Yeah.
You like this? I love this shirt.
I love it.
This is like cool.
We had a whole trivia last time, remember?
Yes. Like I showed where the different things were and stuff in here, but.
Ian, I would not get it at cost. It's not good for the eyes that VR set, you know?
Yeah, you put a screen literally this close to your eyes for hours.
And Peter said no phone at the dinner table. Nope, not at our dinner table either.
Facts.
Yes.
Facts.
Ricky, he has a question. Can you connect 2 wireless extenders together to give a 2,000 square foot house good Wi-Fi coverage? That's what my sis got, and they are going to get Cox for their ISP. But their router is at one far end. So, I mean, the best way to do that, instead of using a repeater or an extender or anything like that, the best way to do it is a mesh network. Okay, they are designed to do just that. So you don't have any like abrupt outages of any kind. While you're walking around, it's constantly switching to the closest one, the one that has the lower latency, because it does it internally. So I would say, if possible, build a mesh network. They're cheap to do. It just needs to be a mesh network router. And you just buy additional ones and you just put them wherever you want it throughout the home. I have a mesh network in ours, and then outside of our house, we have another external node, let's call it, and that literally puts Wi-Fi 2.4 as well as 5.0 Wi-Fi all the way to the back side of our property, 5 acres, which is really quite cool. Yeah. So you don't even need to have cell phone service. You can have Wi-Fi literally 300-400 feet away from the home, because I have the outdoor also in the mix for the mesh. So I would suggest, Ricky, a mesh system of some kind. Fat Ninja of the West. I know.
I love that name.
I know this isn't a question, but I think that you underestimate the amount of Apple goblins who will buy literally anything made by Apple. I mean, that's kind of true too. So I feel like, true. You know what? I feel like those people will run out, like they run out to get the latest and greatest iPhone. And then after that, it's just going to kind of tank. That's just me, but I'm not the tech person.
I'm going to have to... So I just bought a brand new iMac Pro computer. And the reason I did, it's like 2 years old or whatever. They had a big sale on it as soon as WDC came out, and they talked about their brand new, whatever. I don't buy brand new nothing. And I got, stop, don't yawn while I'm talking.
It's been a long week.
I don't buy anything I don't buy anything brand new, but when I see a really good deal, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna buy it. So I had one, it was an iMac Air, whatever it is. Anyways, for like, I think it's 13 years old, and it's still working. So now I bought this Pro, and I'm gonna actually bring it in here. I'm gonna show you guys. It's brand new. Stop. You saw her. She freaking yawned while I'm talking. Who does that kind of shit?
It's been a long week, you guys.
So, but it has like a terabyte in it. It has like 16 gigabytes instead of 8, and all the rest of this stuff. And I literally paid just over $1,000 for it. And it's like an M1. It's not an M2, but it's okay. So I'm going to show you
like
guys.
An M3, like a BMW M3.
Yeah, it's like G14 classified. Jesus. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys. I'll probably just do a video on it and talk about it a little bit. I'm also going to do a video about these microphones that I'm using now, because I'm going to do a direct comparison between these pencil condenser mics and the RE20, which is a radio mic, because I've been doing testing, and these damn things are awesome in comparison to the RE20 that literally costs $1,000, and this setup costs like just over $150 or something. So anyways, I want to talk to you guys about that, because some people have been asking me about like what's a good mic to get and why. So anyways, there's a couple of videos that are going to be coming very soon.
John said, I found out on my T-Mobile, if you stop moving it around, it gets a lot better longer. It stays there.
Also, guys, if you have T-Mobile or Verizon, okay, there's a trick that I found out, that it's a square, right? And there's an antenna I found out from the engineers in the 4 corners of it. But the side that has the screen on it actually has stronger antennas on it. So when you want it, so when you figure out where the location of your I guess it would be antenna, your, let's say T-Mobile antenna is, let's say if it's to the northwest, point that screen towards the northwest. That's number one, which doesn't make a lot of sense, because they want you to stick this thing in the like window, but then you take the screen, now you can't see it anymore, but you're sticking it out the window. Stupid. But anyways, it is what it is. I also found out is if you turn the unit, let's say 15 degrees, and keep turning it and letting it sit, and then turn it and let it sit over time, you will find out that there's going to be a spot that you turn it that you're going to get like an extra bar of service. Don't know why, but that's what happens. So try that. But I also, in my car, like I told you guys earlier today on this live feed, in my car I have a mega antenna, an outdoor antenna that I'm going to be testing. I actually got 2. So,
I just still want to know why they're in your car. Like, why? Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
we couldn't put groceries in the car because in the back is antennas.
On top
That's
of
the kind
which,
of shit that I do.
On
stupid
top
stuff.
of which, Mr. Joe here has a small little sports car, so his trunk is really, I wouldn't really
It's
say
massive.
it was a trunk.
You know, years ago, you would have cars and you would call them like a body car. So it's like a 2-body car, or you can put like 4 bodies in the trunk. This is like a half a body trunk. So,
Yeah.
but the half a body's full of antennas.
Yes.
Two big antennas in there.
John wants to know.
And don't friggin' yawn again.
I found out. John wants to know. I found out on my T-Mobile, if you stop moving it around, it gets better. Did I read this
Yeah,
already?
you did.
Okay.
Just keep on reading the same one 3 more times.
Anthony Nye. Whenever I put my Starlink in bypass mode, it just gets wacky and doesn't work properly. Any solution?
It should not do that, because remember, when you put it in bypass mode, the Starlink just goes to sleep. Like the Wi-Fi goes to sleep. It's no longer on, and it just sends all of the service through that dongle, right, through your Ethernet adapter into your third-party router. So since that's the case, you shouldn't have a problem. It should be the same as if you did it or didn't. Let's say it shouldn't make any much of a difference. If it is that big of a difference, there might be something wrong with the unit itself.
Yeah, and Anthony also said, love well water. I think it tastes better. Not ours, Anthony.
Yeah, so well water is good in certain, we have okay. So the well water that comes out of our ground, we have 3 wells. One of the wells is sulfuric. It's got like a sulfur kind of egg smell. The other one is more irony, so there's more of an iron or a hard metal. So each well that you dig is going to be different. So it really depends. If you get a really sweet well that's actually good water, you're lucky. And it's literally hit or miss. I don't care what the well diggers say. They're like, oh yeah, I always hit good water. No, you don't. You just don't know.
Yeah.
All right. And in every location, it's going to be a little bit different. The aquifers at different levels, different, so who knows? But yeah, we have one that is pretty decent, but I wouldn't drink it. It goes through the softener, and now once it goes through the softener, you're adding salt, and now it's saltier water. You don't want to drink that. You end up with high blood pressure. So, we're still buying water from the grocery store and drinking that for the last 20 years. So that's not always the best thing either. I mean, we could also do like a reverse osmosis, and then that's fine too. But having so much salt and stuff in it, it plugs the RO filters pretty quickly. So it's always like a give and take on what can you do. So should you buy the bottle of water? Should you not have it delivered? Should you not do So I don't know.
We're going to be finishing up here soon.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end.
Yeah,
here we go.
right here.
Sweet. Let's see. Could you build one with a Raspberry Pi and get to onto screen, maybe 4K? But so I'm not sure what you're referring to, Ian, with the Raspberry Pi. I build a lot of things with Raspberry Pi. Right now, the Raspberry Pi over here is the one that's running my arcade with about 15,000 retro games on it. So that's the kind of stuff that I would do with the Raspberry Pi. Also, I have something that I want to create, which would be a Pi hole. The problem is you can't find Raspberry Pis anywhere. They used to be like $50-$60. Now, if you find them somewhere, they want like $300-$400 for a Raspberry Pi.
Can't you just go to Publix and order one?
You probably could. But yeah, I gotta see if I can find one so I can do like a build. It'd be kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
My whole family is drinking the tea. My daughter, the nurse, is hooked on your delicious tea. Thank you so much.
If you haven't tried our teas, they're really good.
Yeah, the Dark Moon teas. Check them out. The teas that I've created for Dark Moon teas, they're all specific for certain things. Like, for example, the Misty Morning as well as the Focus are more for bringing you up in the morning. Yeah. They have a little bit more caffeine in it, let's just say, but it's all herbal teas, right? It's all tea. But then we also have other ones like Fireside that I love, that has the lapsang in it. It has like a smokiness. All those teas, instead of just let's say dried like through some type of heating process, that tea is actually dried over pine. So the tea itself has a smoky, rich flavor to it and smell to it. So if you like smoky, Fireside is awesome. But then I have like teas that are like sleepy teas, like, this type of thing. There's a lot of different ones, but they're all for a certain reason. So, But anyways, check them out. Go over to JCristina.com/shop. Once again, JCristina.com/shop. And you'll see all the teas. You'll see the shirts like this one and all the rest of them. Merch and the cups and all the rest of this stuff, the merch thing. Let's see. Robert says, running late tonight, but great to see both of you again. Always learn a lot from both of you. Keep up great work. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, Robert. Let's see. Anthony says, love well water. I love that. That's great. Yeah, that's from before. Yeah, we have size of battery. John says, question, what size is your battery backup for your computer? So for the computer, I like to use 1,000 plus, maybe 1,500 plus, 2,000 VA for the most part. But for Starlink, for example, I use like a 650, and that's more than sufficient. So, but I have individual backups on our UPSs. On each individual item. I don't put like one big ass backup and then attach everything to it, because it's just now all of a sudden you have one point of failure. If that goes, then everything goes, right? So I have like a whole bunch of smaller ones. That's the way I work things.
Ian, I mean, use the pump you have, pump water into above ground tank. You will have power, then use 12V pump from above ground tank to house.
Yeah, absolutely. Can definitely do that. And that is definitely a solution. But you need at least 500 to 700 gallons here. And that is a big ass tank. Yeah. And once there's no, a good way to do it is gravity fed. So that once there is no power, it gravity feeds into the home. And then you don't have to worry anymore about the power. The problem here is that the well water, once again, is sulfuric. Yeah, there's a lot of sulfur in it. And it's a little bit brown because of the tannins. So due to that, if I was to pump that throughout the whole house, the sinks would turn brown, the toilets would turn brown, everything would turn brown. So I can't do that. So we still have to like somehow filter it or soften it. And now how do you do that with 12 volts? That's the problem. So it's a thing. It's a thing.
Everything is a thing.
Yeah, it's not the easiest.
John
thing.
said, question, do you know about alien router?
Alien routers? I do not. I haven't tried any of. I didn't even know that they even had alien routers. But I mean, Alienware stuff is probably what you're talking about. I don't know. The routers that I've been using. I mean, if you want like a really damn good router, I mean, you can get a Peplink. You're paying 500 plus modules, another 250. You can do all kinds of. I have a lot of expensive routers, and then really cheap ones. The one that I'm using right now is a UTT router. And it is cheap. It's under $100. It does great QoS, which is quality of service. So you can check out that one. I put that, I think, down in the pinned comment on all of my videos, as well as all of my video descriptions. You'll see that router in there. Look for UTT. Really good.
Steve said, is anyone else pissed off with what happened in the news today? What part, Steve? There's so much stuff going on every day.
What happened in the news, Steve? I want to hear it. Real Nikon Lover says the audio is excellent tonight, Joe. Thank you so much. That is, once again, these little Neewer microphones. I'm like floored, and they're little capsule. They literally look. They're.
We used to have them on here.
They're about this long.
We did the other shows.
We used
to have them here.
Exactly, but now they're up there. But they're very directional. You can do like omnidirectional, or you can do them very like pinpoint, cardioid type of pickup. But yeah, they work out really good, and I think they sound really good too. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Memorable Places says, question. Just watched the Abode video and was very interested in your lawsuit part of the story you had done, or will you do a long, detailed video about the suit? Really curious. I could probably do. I was literally going to write a book about this lawsuit.
I still think he should write a book,
because it's such a travesty that someone, not just because it's me, but just the way the U.S. judicial system works and how you are, not innocent until proven guilty. If it is in a court of, let's say if it's a legality, it's a federal court, or if it has to do with, anything that's not civil, it's like you have to furnish an attorney, and then you have to prove yourself innocent. And that is a major friggin' problem. And that is why a lot of these companies get away with what they get away with. And that's why the majority of the companies win the lawsuits, because people do not have the resources, the money to fight these big companies. Yeah. So it is a problem. It is a big problem. But maybe, I don't know.
Maybe we can do a video and you talk in detail about it a little more. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
In the beginning of this video, you talked a little bit descriptive about it, but...
Yeah, rewind later on.
Rewind?
Rewind.
Does anyone rewind?
Hit the double rewind.
Or do you just slide back?
Re-slide to the left. This is the one that's been yawning. So go to the left and just take a look at, and listen to what I say about it. And if you have questions...
I'm fun.
You are fun. That's why I love you so much. But yes, just let me know if you have any questions about it. I'm very passionate about it, and I really do want to write a book. I would like to maybe, I don't know if I should write it or if I should have someone else write it. And I have so much documentation on this that I saved everything.
We have
every
a lot
writ,
to put
every
together.
notice,
Yeah.
every motion, everything that I wrote, every flight, everything having to do with this, literally from soup to nuts. And that's why I was saying, and I kind of alluded to it, I'm like, this guy that's coming up with this abode thing, ring me. All right, ring me. You have like a question on something, I'm probably going to be able to answer it for you because I went through it for over 4 years of this crap. But, this whole abode thing, he's literally peeing in someone's, cereal. And the someone is Adobe, and they're very rich. So I wish him well, and I hope that it turns out well, but he just needs to understand that there needs to be a coffer.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Maybe he has some intellectual property, some IP attorneys already on retainer. Maybe the guy is just wealthy. I don't know what it is. But there needs to be a massive coffer specifically for this litigation. Because I don't care. This will be a legal battle because it's so close. And what they're going to say, very simple.
What?
She's being an ass. What they're going to say, I love you. I love you. So what they're going to say is that the logo is so close to our logo that it's going to somehow misrepresent that software as being our software, and they are going to make money on the backs of Adobe because it's
Yeah, I mean, I even read it.
you thought because when you look at it, it looks like Adobe when it's really not Adobe. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. You take a look if there's any more questions in here. I'm going to bring this up really quick.
There's not questions. I'm just going to read off what people are
okay,
talking
go
about.
ahead.
Ruth and Adrian, I used your tip for the T-Mobile antenna, and it works. Thanks for that.
Sweet.
Yes.
That's good.
Scott. Scott Hanlon. This is a question. In New Zealand, we call the trunk of a car the boot for some reason. Really? That's interesting.
The boot. I kind of like that.
Trunk just doesn't sound right. Boot sounds better. The boot.
The boot.
Is it like the butt or the boot? It's the trunk.
What the frick is that? Is it the butt? Oh, maybe it's a boot. It's like in the U.S., like we call the end of the train the caboose.
No, the caboose. What is
it's like
that?
Caboose boot.
No,
maybe it rhymes. Well, you just said butt.
Yeah, but because it's the back end of the car.
I can't with you.
You said caboose.
All right,
the
guys,
boot.
look at this crap here. So this is what I was talking. This is my video I was talking about today. So you see here, it's called Abode, right? This is it. They originally wanted this right here. The $62,739 was the goal. So far, they raised $110,000, and this isn't done yet. This still has 42 days to go. These people are going to, if it keeps going like this, they're going to hit $250,000, which is nice. But anyways, look at this. Look at this logo. And this is why Fabiola said it literally looks.
It does.
It literally looks like
Yeah, I mean, like I just was going to say Adobe again, but it's not.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like, when you look at it, it looks like it is.
Okay, so they really are a separate company, like all together.
Yes, this is not the same people at all. This is not.
Because I was thinking, you know how sometimes companies will do this to themselves by Yeah, no. This is a different company. So this guy, his name is Stuart Semple. Semple. Semple, I guess. Anyways, this guy is the guy who he is the guy that went against the person that came up with that blackest black paint, where he ended up buying the paint, the rights to it, and all this stuff. So he ended up coming up with this thing as the pinkest pink. He's like, look, I got the pinkest pink. And matter of fact, you could buy the pinkest pink from my website, but this guy cannot buy it. And that's what I talked about in the video. But I didn't talk about also when Adobe, do you remember this? This was a period of time when Adobe said, hey, your Pantone colors are going to be gone.
because you're going to have to pay extra to have Pantone colors. If you don't know what Pantone colors is, those are the colors from the industry that it's swatches of colors. If you're in fashion, if you're anything having to do with color, you use Pantone. Well, Pantone has always been in all of like Photoshop, Illustrator, into all of it. It's all Pantone colors. Well, all of a sudden one day Pantone turned black. There's a black box. Pantone is gone. So they made it into a thing. Once again, you have to lease, you have to rent, you have to pay for Pantone now, right? More ridiculousness. So what he did was he got the Pantone colors, he made like a file or whatever, and he gave them away for free. So now you can install the Pantone colors for free into your... Anyways, this is the kind of stuff that he does. He loves peeing in people's breakfast cereal. He likes it. That's his thing. He likes parody. You know, he is one of those guys that just loves a fight. And you know what? We need people like that, because I tell you what, when I did the Life After Adobe Cutting the Cord series 4 years ago, when I went cold turkey and got rid of Adobe altogether, people thought that I was crazy. But remember, when I was going to school, art school or whatever, they made it a point to say that if you are in video production, if you're in any type of art, if you do anything creative, if you're not using Adobe software, you cannot be a professional.
Yeah, it was like a requirement.
It's like you have, and this was the mindset. And it's just such BS. I have been using alternatives now for 4 years, and I'm a damn professional. This is all that I do. Right? Not just what you see here. I work outside also doing video production, doing photo, doing all kinds of stuff, right? And everything is done with alternatives to Adobe. Adobe is not what we absolutely have to have. It's not an end-all be-all. So I'm glad that he's doing this. Let me bring this back up real quick, and then you can go into a question there. So we can see this here, and you can see this guy. This is him right here, this Stuart Simple guy or whatever. And if we go down, see it says Abode, look at that logo. Yeah. I mean, that is literally Adobe's logo. He put the little box under here to make a representation of a home, obviously Abode being a home. And if you come down here, look at this. We have on design, we have, instead of InDesign, on design, we have Illustrate It instead of Illustrator. Photo Pop, which is your photo editor, which is your Photoshop. Crazy. And then, of course, you have Impress instead of Express. So this is what he's doing. It's literally a rip of, look at this shirt. Mm-hmm. And when you look at this shirt, I mean, you think that says Adobe, just at first glance. Yeah. And even Fabiola, that doesn't know Adobe very well, let's say, that's not into that, right. When she saw it, she immediately read it as Adobe. Yeah. And that's exactly what the IP, the intellectual property attorneys, are going to say. It looks like Adobe. Yeah. So they're making money off our back, is what they're going to say. And we want money for that. We want royalties. Everything that you made, we want 10 times the amount of that, because we have, boosted your sales or whatever. Right. They'll make up something. But what they'll end up doing is making it so difficult for them that they will have a lawsuit going on once again for 4 years. They'll put all kinds of things in and clauses and all kinds of things that they have to cease and desist until litigation is over. And then they'll push the litigation for years, and then the software will never come out. And this is what my fear is. I hope they can actually do it. But remember, this company is going against the likes of DxO as well as Affinity, which is Serif. And those are really well-known companies already. So they're not just going against Adobe, they're going against these other companies at the same time. What else do you have there?
Jeff wants to know, which you already talked about, the Adobe alternative. Do you make your own teas? Yes.
So every one of the Dark Moon teas are all made in-house. They're all herbal, but they're all organic, non-radiated. Matter of fact, a lot of times the teas will be a week out, sometimes 2 weeks out, because a certain ingredient that just has to be organic, non-radiated, on and on and on, non-GMO, the whole thing. If
but also
I can't get
it, they're made fresh.
They're made fresh.
They're combined.
So each one that you purchase is actually made for you. Period. It's not sitting on a shelf somewhere for the last 2 months or whatever. Right. It's all fresh ingredients, every single one of them. So I do it with love. It's something that I absolutely love doing. I've been doing it for many, many years, and then finally I started selling them, and people love them, and they keep buying them, so that's why I keep selling them. So yeah, Dark Moon Teas are one of those passion projects of mine that I absolutely love, And yeah, they're all organic, or all, you know, the way they should be, let's say, the way I think that they should be. And if I can't get the ingredients, that's why they end up on back order for a week or two. Is if something is missing, I'm not going to replace it with something that's not organic or that's not of the top quality. Doesn't matter. I won't do it. What else do we have here?
I don't know. My computer thing is frozen, so
You're frozen.
I'm frozen.
No. Oh, it just moved? Maybe.
No, I
all right,
didn't.
so let's see, Rob. Let's see. Where do we leave off? Any
On the
questions?
teas.
Here we go. Peter says, do you use an audio mixer? So I have a compressor for my RE20. The RE20, yes, does have that compressor. It is a DBX 286S. And then that goes into the computer. But these newer, or whatever, these pencil condenser mics, they just go right into the system. And the mixer, or how it gets in, it's basically from analog to digital, and that goes through. I wish I can show it here. It's this Focusrite. It's like a 2x2 Focusrite, so 2 mics can go into it. I love this damn thing. It works out really good. So it takes like an XLR feed and it turns it into USB and plumps it into the computer.
Yeah, this is frozen.
You're frozen? Okay. It is going up and down, but that's it.
Yeah.
Are you at the end? Is that why?
I mean, I thought I was, but I'm seeing some questions on your side that I didn't see on mine.
That's interesting. Let me just go back there.
See?
Yeah, it's just mad. All right, so we'll just use this. Matter of fact, here, I'll give you my... Well, I can't even reach over there.
No.
So I'll just go down just a little bit. Because we're almost done anyways, guys.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
questions that you have, let us know right now. We're going to stay for another 5 minutes, let's say, and then we're going to head out. Okay? So you guys can have a wonderful weekend. So, let's see. The trunk of the car. We have this mess.
The boot.
The boot.
We
What is
did
this? Got that. Excellent. And here, Jim, Nikon, real Nikon lover, says there's a reason they call it the trunk in old cars. Didn't have internal storage. They strapped on a literal a steamer trunk. I didn't even know that, on the back of the cars to haul their possessions. There you go. That makes sense. I like that. Let's see. Not a trademark. Change the trademark. Yeah, I do. I mean, they need to fix that. They're going to end up just with intellectual property problems just from the Adobe or the Abode logo alone. Never mind all the rest of stuff. That just needs to be fixed. Kamikaze says, Herbal. I enjoy Herbal. Need to check them out. Yes, Kamikaze, check them out. Pick up one of the teas. I think you'll like them. Let's see. What is this? John K. Wolf says, I thought whoever loses, I guess, have to pay the attorneys or the lawyers. No, that is not the case. So if you win, then you have the ability now to countersue them for attorney's fees. It doesn't just automatically, just because you win, you just get attorney's fees. It doesn't work that way.
No, not here.
I wish it would work that way. But
if we wanted to try to get anything back, we would have had to start a lawsuit, a countersuit.
right. And then what would
And
they do,
we had
guys?
no money for that. And like you said, they would just stall and
It would be
make
another
it longer,
100, 200 grand, and then they would stall and push it back for another 4 years because they don't want to pay, right? That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So it just simply wasn't really ideal. It wasn't worth it. Let's see.
And Tesla have a frunk.
Tesla does have a frunk.
That's funny.
I like it. Let's see. Let me come
Did
down
you go
here.
up here real quick just to check?
Make sure. Steve says, I have a book, Worthy of Lawsuit Story.
Yeah.
I have a book, Worthy of Lawsuit Story, yeah. Let's see. Salt is removed. Okay,
You
Tom
have to
says
go up
salt
here.
is removed.
You have to go
okay,
up
I'm going
here.
to come up here. Hold on.
So you see how why this is where I stopped.
Oh, okay.
See, it
yeah,
got
because
frozen.
you were frozen over there. Cat 8. Okay, Anthony says I use Cat 8.
I think Rob was talking to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Here,
so-
pump tank after the water treatment you can put and use the house. Okay. Make sure you hit, yes, thank you very much. Thumbs ups would always be
Yes.
greatly
If you
appreciated.
haven't subscribed, please do so.
Yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Tom says if your softener is working properly, there should be no carryover of salt to your set. Yeah. So the softener is working right, but there is salt in the water. Not a ton of salt, but it's softening through the pellets, which is softening the water, and we still get some salt that goes into the system. Now, we have dual tanks. We have like a big system, but we don't have like an RO or something. Now, an RO, of course, is going to take everything out, but that's actually dangerous too for your pipes, because RO water has nothing in it, and if you don't inject other hardness to it, it'll literally eat away the copper. It will suck the copper into the water, because it is so like with nothing, let's say. Anyways, let's see. Salt is removed.
Yeah, we're down here. Peter asked if you have an audio mixer.
Yeah, I answered that already. Let's come on down here. Right here. There's a reason. Okay, we got that.
Right here.
We got that. All right. Let's come on down here. So RMI says, new to the channel, love the Starlink info. Great resource. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here,
Yes.
RMI. Really do appreciate that. I see Arnie says the mic sounds great. Thank you, Arnie. Really do appreciate that. I'm glad that it's sounding good. I am like an audiophile. I like to have the audio sound great. I mean, the video, the video is the video, but audio I think is just so important.
Yeah.
Video is like, I would say audio is like 75% of audio, 80% of audio. If you're watching like a YouTube video and the audio is just complete shit, even though the video is great, you're just going to shut it off. You're like, I can't listen to this anymore, right? But if the video is like kind of okay, but the audio is great, you're like, okay, I'm okay with it. Right. So I do think audio is really, really important. Anyways, thank you so much, Arnie, for that. Thank you, RMI, for being here, new to the channel. Thank you. Jeff says, all courts and lawyers except mine suck. There you go, Jeff. You got to send me, or even send them your attorney. Yes. Arnie says, thank you for the Christinas for enjoyable evening. Cheers for the chatter. And 73, of course, for the hams. Yes. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it.
Good night, Ernie.
Thank you for being here. And Steve says, every people think that the court and legal system is absolutely wrong. They will be shocked if they have to go there.
Oh, yeah, it's so bad. Steve, it's so bad.
It is bad. And Jim, thank you so much. Really do appreciate that super chat earlier.
Much,
thank you. Appreciate everyone being here. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I think we will. I'll be working a little bit on that shower, so I don't hear anything about it, but we'll be working on that, and I'm kind of excited to get that done anyways. I need to put some time into it. It is.
I would be so excited to have my own bathroom again after almost a year. It's not 6 months.
It's like 6 months. My time frame is a little bit off, guys. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a little bit of time. But we're doing a full gut. Okay, it's just gutted. It's literally stud.
It's
form.
Really because
when you open the door,
it's really because Joe didn't want to pay anybody to do it.
Is 2x4s. Okay, the shower is 2x4s. I should take a picture of that and show you guys that I'm not joking here, and then I'll take a picture of it when it's done.
Yeah, when it's done. Keyword done.
Listen, you and you're like sleeping and falling asleep
it's been
and
a
yawning.
Long day.
I don't even know.
A long week.
Anyways, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I do appreciate it.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, if you do,
anything,
throw them down there.
Before we'll
stay.
out?
We'll stay like what? 2 more minutes? 3 more minutes?
Let's stay on for like another 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh my God. Okay.
We can do 10 minutes.
10 minutes. We are there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll stay for 10 minutes. Any other questions? Let us know. Arnie says, does ITM in the morning mean anything to anybody?
In the morning? What do you mean? I don't
Arnie?
know. Arnie.
Give me some more information, Arnie. Let's see. Let me go into here. What do we got here? Peter says, sometimes I am working with the people making a concert and I am working on the sound side. Yeah. There you go. There's a lot that goes into sound. And I mean, it could be literally like an XLR cable that is just internally frayed or something, and you can't find out what that buzz is, that sound or whatever. Audio is a pain in the ass, but you know what? When you get it right, it's delicious. I mean, even, I watch YouTube all the time. I don't even watch TV half the time. I watch YouTube, right? People that I like or whatever. And if someone's audio sounds fantastic, it's like I want to listen to what they have to say. But when it sounds like just like whiny or like just the pitch is off or whatever, I just don't like it. I'm like really into just hearing like some good solid audio. Let's see. Low Tech Greg says thanks to you both. Thank you, Low Tech, for being here. Do appreciate you for coming.
Jim, he has enough time to brew some more tea.
All right, Jim, what tea are you brewing there? What tea? I want to hear it. What tea are you brewing? Let's say Arnie says No Agenda podcast. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a good podcast, No Agenda.
You ever do any astrophotography? It is one of my passions, Jeff asked.
I have not. I've done some like blood moon photography, that type of stuff. I do have a 12-inch. My wife calls it the torpedo that she wants me to throw away for the last couple of decades. So I have a 12-inch a mirror setup that is quite amazing. That's just great. But yeah, I don't do much of the astrophotography. A lot of people that I know that do astrophotography are really complaining a lot about the 4,500 Starlink satellites that are revolving around the Earth, because when they do these slow exposures, they're getting a lot of streaks that they don't like, that then later on in post-production they have to delete the streaks, which is not always great. But I think it's fascinating anyways. I mean, I get people on the channel all the time that say that, don't even talk about the satellite stuff because the satellites aren't real. No, I'm on God honest truth. The satellites are not real. We never went to the moon. That was green screen, back in 1969 when there was no green screen, but they swear that it was green screen. Yeah. There's I get a lot of people that really don't believe that the planets exist, that when they see stars they're like painted on or something. I don't know, crazy ass shit. I mean, I don't know. So there's a lot of, I field a lot of DMs and a lot of emails and a lot of stuff that it's very difficult to reply to some of it, but it is what it is. I mean, people way back in the when we originally saw that, when there was a solar eclipse and we can see the shape of the Earth, we knew that the Earth was round at that point. Anyone today that thinks the Earth is flat at this point, to me, is just ludicrousy. I mean, you can see it. It's not even like it's something that's invisible that you just have to believe in. Right? You can actually see it. It's quantified, So, anyways.
All right, so you need to go up here
Yes, I will back up a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, right here. RMI, buy quality name brand fixtures so you can get replacement parts in the future. We found that out the hard way, but yes, absolutely. I don't even want to get into that because that was a nightmare.
Yes.
That was a nightmare.
The only thing that we got lucky about, the house was built by children.
Drunk children. Running around.
Can we even say that? Demonetized. We're screwed. That's it. So drunk children built our house.
Little
walls.
People.
So I
drunk
built,
little people.
Drunk little people. You can't say little people.
You can't say anything.
You're not allowed to say little people. Anyways, drunk.
Yes, you are. Little people is the right terminology.
So drunk little people built our house, but they didn't have a level. So all the walls are like this. So I build everything with a level and a square and everything. So then when I make stuff, I'm like, what the frick is going on with this shit? And then I got to go and fix it myself after the fact. So trust me, when I took apart the entire bathroom.
You didn't take the entire bathroom apart. I took a lot
when
of the
she
bathroom.
demoed the bathroom, forcing me to fix it, I found like the shower pan wasn't done right. It was leaking. The walls are crooked. The 2x4s are like a damn wreck.
Honestly, sometimes you wonder how the houses are even up.
The only thing that they did well is they put in a Moen,
fixture.
Fixture.
Yeah.
So this way now, even though the Moen fixture is like 25, 30 years old.
Valve.
The valve, yeah. I can get, the valve. I can actually get
Look
a
at me,
picture,
see?
a piece for it, right? The knob. And it works. Whereas if they would have put in something that was like a no-name brand, I would have really been screwed because then I'd be cutting pipe and sweating copper. I don't want to sweat copper. I'm sweating enough to put in the new shower pan with the little people and the shits like that.
Just get it done.
Okay, I'm gonna get it done. All right. But yes, get the good stuff. I get it.
Yes. Jeff said your audio is always very good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Adrian and Ruth said I work for a company called Latacrete. We make shower systems. The new Hard Rock Hotel used it in all showers. Let me know if you need help. Where were you
Jesus
months ago?
What the hell is Latacrete?
Yeah.
Damn.
DM
me. I don't know. I want to see some Latacrete, whatever the hell that is.
John
we have Hard Rock right down the road from us.
Yeah, an hour. It's an hour away.
It's an hour away. That's down the road, and it's like in the shape of a damn guitar. The hotel. It's the coolest thing ever. I didn't know that.
We used to do fun stuff. We don't do anything fun anymore. It's just work.
She actually falls asleep.
I'm fun.
She's yawning while we're doing this.
I'm fun.
You're fun. So it's
John
the music.
said it's the music.
That's why.
That it is. That's probably why.
You could subliminally hear the music playing for them and not us.
It's been a long week, and then you made me go to the gym before tonight.
Okay, we did go to the gym. All right, we did. She didn't want to go either. I have to force her to go to the damn gym.
No, not all the time. Just today.
No, just today. Okay. What is Renee? Renee says,
what solar did you go with? Where are the chickens? What is the latest regarding Starlink V2 Mini 1.5? How many active? I love it.
All right, so let's do this really quick. Chickens are still there. They're good. My son hasn't killed any. They are all fed and watered.
Yes,
so the chickens are good.
I made the boys get them dirt, and I even did a big portion of the chicken dirt, remixing it for them because they scratch and everything, and they try to go all the way to China. Yeah. But so the chickens are good.
Chickens are good. I'm gonna have to do a video with those. I haven't done it. What an idiot. Anyways, I'll do a chicken video. But also solar, I have not done yet. I've been going back and forth with these companies. If you guys know of a solar company that wants to donate some solar anything, it could be the batteries. I got some companies from China that wanted to donate batteries, and I'm like, I don't want them. And then some other companies that just, it's like, I don't take on sponsors or anyone unless I really feel confident. It's a company that I would buy myself. Okay, if not, you don't see it on here. That's why you don't see a lot of sponsors, right? Because you won't even know how many I go through. Anyways, so as far as the Starlink version 2 minis, the 1.5s are still going up there.
Yeah.
Every week, right? The 2.0s are going up in the fairing, but only 21, 22 at a time. There's right now, I think, about 80 in orbit, functional, working, but not operational. So they're not at a working height as of right now. That's what I have figured out. But I could be wrong. But there is, I believe, around 80 that are in orbit as of right now.
All
so,
Low Tech Greg, in my humble opinion, experiment with a subsonic filter.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I have to figure out what that is, and I'm going to have to look it up. Okay.
Adrian and Ruth, South Florida was my territory before, and Hard Rock was my project. That's very cool.
So that's okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Jim, I'd love to hear about it for sure.
Jim said Dreamscape to calm my frazzled nerves. He's talking about your teas.
Gotcha.
And we have to make a special announcement when we're done here.
Oh, okay. So she's going to announce it. I'm not clear what the special announcement is.
It's for a viewer.
Oh. Gotcha. So, the Dreamscape is basically the equivalent to a sleepy time tea that you guys would be aware of, but it has added herbals in it that not only lull you, let's say, to a nice calm sleep, but it also enhances dreams. So it's called Dreamscape. That's one of my teas, which, as far as I've been getting a ton of really good reports that it works out great for a lot of people. Jim, if you take it on a regular basis, let me know how you dream and if it does calm you as I say it does. Let me see. Tony C says, so you love good audio. What's your favorite company for your surround sound or stereo music? So for me, a lot of people love Bose. I'm right now using Bose here in the studio. But for a sound system, I absolutely love Boston Acoustics. That's just my favorite. We have a really good Boston Acoustics setup in the house that I've had for years, and it just sounds incredible. I don't know. What do you think about Boston? I love them. That's one of my favorites. With a really good amp and with good EQing, I mean, those speakers are just unbelievable. Let's see. Peter John says you can make water out of the air. I've been watching on YouTube, and they are on solar energy. Really, I heard something about that. Doing some type of pulling. Basically, it's like an air condition in reverse type of thing. I believe that could be. Let me see.
Don't read that out.
No, I know. Let me just see here. Oh,
so
yeah.
Ricky Joe said, I know all about work and remodels, how to strip the walls and redo drywall and redo floors for my sis so they can get ready to move because their baby is due in July. That's awesome. Congrats to your sister.
Congratulations. Yeah, we just recently became grandparents.
Yes, good times.
Holy goodness. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. And we also have a special shout out.
Yes, we do.
To the goat.
The goat. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday from
happy birthday.
All of us over here on the other side of the East Coast.
Yeah.
Wish we were there to celebrate with you guys. I hope you're having a great time and a great birthday and enjoy like your weekend. It's awesome.
It's amazing that you are down here, but we are 3 hours away.
Yeah,
wish we could have seen you. But once again, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Have
birthday.
Fun.
26 all over again, right? You feel 26? You look 26.
We do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right, we're going to finish up, guys.
Yeah, let me just scroll down here.
Wait, you passed.
Yeah, there's more up here. So I'm going to go through really quick.
Wait, go up.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay, here we go.
Here, so.
Ricky, we have this. That's the Reno, the floors, assist. We got that. Kamikaze says, I have a longtime friend that has gone completely flat Earth. It's really sad. I get it. I don't know. I don't know. The next time there's a solar eclipse or next time there's a lunar eclipse, show them the moon. Look at the moon. Ask them, why does it wane? Why does it wax? It's obviously you can see the shadow of Earth on the moon. I mean, to believe it's flat would mean that instead of having a crescent moon, you tell them that it would be a square, right? You'd have a rectangular moon. I don't know, or rectangular shadow on the moon. I don't know. Just I don't even know. Sometimes I don't even know how to answer some of these things. Let's see. John says you can make water out of air. Yes, we got that. Arnie says you need to do moon bounce, EME, Earth to moon. Yes, that would be great. Tony says, let's see. Or let me see. Let me go down. Did we get this already?
What? Did you miss one?
Survivalist water? Survivalist water storage. 55-gallon drum, daisy chain
You're
together.
Sleeping.
Yeah, tied into my lawn sprinkler system. I can punch the drum and hand crank, sub pump. Yeah. So I actually bought an old style pump, this deal, with the leather bottom to it, the whole thing. I bought that we have 3 wells. One is like 50 some feet, but we have a well that's like only 26 feet. It's not really good water at 26 feet. But anyways, in case of emergency, I'm going to install that. I bought it. I never did because this is what I do. I buy stuff and it sits like in my car trunk.
Like everything else.
In the boot.
I'm going to put you in the boot.
I got shit in the boot. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, it says, we are cracking Jeff and Low Tech Greg up. And you just scrolled.
It did it. It bounced. It does this thing that it does.
You're the tech guy. Fix
it did it. I didn't do it. It's YouTube. I didn't write the damn software.
Steve said there's only XX and XY. Yes. I'm glad. Yes, Steve, you're right.
Steve.
Yes.
Steve.
Flying Pretzel, hurry. We're trying. He takes forever.
My God.
Thanks for another great Friday night. See you guys next week. That's from Pinewoods.
Appreciate you being here.
Low Tech Red said she can be fun while yawning. See?
She's very fun when she yawns.
Right down here.
Let's see. Thought I've no.
Here.
Right here. Ruth. Adrian Ruth says, I live in Lake Worth and covered South Florida area and had my horse next to Lion Country Safari. That's actually where we are. We're just out of that area. But yeah, we're exactly where you had your horse. We are one of the only houses here in our equestrian neighborhood that does not have a horse. We have chicken, but no horse. Let's see. Let me see if there's anyone else here. Jeff, Tony, okay. Poke Audio. Onkyo is fantastic, of course. Flying Pretzel says happy birthday to the goat.
And
happy
Peter
birthday.
said happy birthday as well.
Have a great weekend. Thank you so much, guys. So,
Yes.
anyways, TGIF, thank you so much for being
Yes.
here, hanging out with us.
And I hope I didn't bore you guys too much with my yawning.
Yeah, she does that sometimes. but it is
And
what it
to
is.
my peeps on the West Coast, I hope you guys really do have a good time tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Crystal and Camden, we miss seeing you guys. Hopefully we'll catch up on the next trip.
Yes. And once again, congratulations, Billy.
Yes.
And we are out of here for
We
yet
are
another
out
one.
because I am tired. I need
And
a
she's
nap.
gonna yawn in just a
and I'm
second.
gonna yawn.
don't
I'll
wanna
see you
see it.
guys. Looking forward to next Friday night. Do not forget to subscribe. Check out Instagram. If you haven't gotten your tees, and we have t-shirts now that you can order. All the things.
All those kind of
please.
things,
Yes.
right? Subscribe. And definitely check out the book, because I give a prologue to that book back there that I wrote, How to Create a Digital Fort Knox, Backing Up Your Digital Life. I give that away for free, the entire prologue of that. So if you go over to jcristina.com/book, once again, jcristina.com/book, you will get it
Yes.
free of charge. And you can read it, see if you like it. If it's something that you're interested in, then you can buy the book on Amazon, or you can buy it off the website, jcristina.com, or wherever you find books in your local store or whatever. It's everywhere. So, guys, once again, thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate each and every one of you. Many blessings to you and your family.
Many blessings. Have a great week. We'll see you next Friday.
Take care, guys. Bye.